Guys, so quadratic equation systems, quadratic and linear equations in a system, complex numbers and quadratic inequalities we are going to have in this test on Monday. And we have 20 review questions. Let's start them. Use graphing to find the solutions to system. Right? Yeah, it's better. Use graphing to find the solutions to the system of equations, quadratic and linear. So when there are answer options, I actually don't really need to solve them in that meaning, but we check the answer options. The first one is negative x squared plus 2. Guys, how is the graph of this one? So negative x squared, it's this one. So plus 2, it's 2 units up. So which one it is? It's not C, it's not D. So here. So both of them are okay so far, A and B. It's not C and D because here it's positive x squared, it's positive x squared. But we are looking for negative x squared plus 2. Negative x squared plus 2. And the other one is linear one. So negative 1 over 2x minus 3. Well, if you pay attention, here the slope is negative, but in this option, slope is positive. Okay. In our equation, slope is negative 1 over 2, which is less than 0. So slope is less than 0 in this option. You see, slope is less than 0 in this option. So the answer is this option. A is the answer. Wow. Number 2, a landscaper is designing a flower garden in the shape of a trapezoid. Here it is. He wants the shorter base to be 2 yards greater than the height. Shorter base, height, longer base. Shorter base, so let's translate this into math language. So A is 2 yards greater than the height. Height plus 2, h plus 2. The landscaper wants this one. Greater than the height of trapezoid, h, and the longer base to be 6 yards greater than the height. So longer base, B, to be 6 yards greater. So it means h plus 6, 6 yards greater than the height. That means h plus 6. She wants the area to be 140 square yards. And here the area formula. So area is given, A and B given in terms of h. What is the question? Here are the questions. Find the quadratic equation that models the situation in terms of h. So I will write this in terms of h as a quadratic equation. Let's do that. How can we do that? First, I write here. Area is 140. Okay, guys. Equals A plus B. So what is A? It's h plus 2. H plus 2. What is B? It's h plus 6. Plus h plus 6 all over 2 and times h. I hope it's clear, right, guys? So this is A and this is B. A plus B over 2 times A. If I make cross multiplication here, you know, I have 1 actually, right? And then I make cross multiplication. 140 times 2, it's 280. It's equal to, so what do I have here? H plus 2 plus H plus 6. Well, I can write it as 2H plus 8. Of course, this is in parentheses. In parentheses, A plus B. In parentheses, H plus 2 plus H plus 6, which is 2H plus 8, times H. I don't have over 2 because I already multiplied this by 140. All right? And, well, I have to multiply h, 2h plus 8 by h, distributive property. 280 is 2h squared plus 8h. It says find the quadratic equation. So I write it in standard form, 2h squared plus 8h. So guys, if I, subtract 280 from both sides, I will have minus 280 equals 0. So this is the quadratic equation. This is the answer of first question. There's a similar question in the test. The number 2, use the quadratic formula. What was the quadratic formula, guys? It was negative b plus or minus square root of discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. To find the height that will give the desired area. So here the variable is h. So this formula help me to find the h values. We need to know ABC from this given quadratic, from this quadratic equation. It's not given, we found it. So what are the coefficients? A is 2, B is 8, and C is negative 80, negative 280. Well, by the way, I realized that we can simplify this. Yes, guys? Yeah, let's do that. Let's simplify them. Even we are going to use calculator, always easier. If I simplify by 2, I will have h squared plus 4h minus 140 is equal to 0. So I take this equation. I work with this equation. And here, a is 1, b is 4, c is negative 140. I plug them here all. Negative b, negative 4 plus or minus b squared, 16 minus 4, a, c is negative 140. 2a, 2. Okay. And what is next? Negative 4 plus or minus, what do I have in? So 4 times 1 times 140, it's 560, that minus times minus plus, 560 plus 16, it is 576 over 2. What is 576? Let's check it out. This guys, square root of 576, oops, sorry. Okay. So square root of, why it takes like this? And I made you actions and 5, clear history. Oh, of course, control, square root of, what was it, 576, that is 24. Cool. So I have negative 4 plus or minus 24 over 2. There are answers here, but attention, height cannot be negative in our question. So we take h as, please. And wait a minute. So negative 4 plus 24 we take as negative 4 plus 24 over 2. We have 20 over 2. That is 10. Use the quadratic formula to find the height that will give the desired area. Area already known. So height will be equal to 10. And now question number 3. Question number 3, using the discriminants. Guys, it's a nice question. Find the number of real solutions. It doesn't say solve the equation. It asks number of real solutions. What is it about? It's about the discriminant, right? What was it? Let's remember it, and we are going to use it. If b squared minus 4ac greater than 0, there are 3 situations, guys. greater than 0, equal to 0, less than 0. If it is greater than 0, there are two real solutions. If it is equal to 0, we have one real solution. If it is less than 0, no real solution. Okay, don't forget this. And okay, let's come back to the question. Turn back to the question. We have this. So we check it out. B squared minus 4ac. A is 10. B is negative 9. And C is negative 6. B squared, that is negative 9 squared. If it is not a free response question, you don't have to write all these details. You know, if it is multiple choice, you don't have to show all your work. I'm just explaining all the steps here. B squared minus 4a and C is negative 6. Wow. And even the value, we don't need value of discriminant. We always checking if it's positive, 0 or negative. So we have what, guys, here? 81 minus times minus, that is plus 4 times 10 times 6. Well, it's 240. I can find what is it, but I don't need it. So it's greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, find the number of real solutions. So guys, 2 real solutions. Okay, this is the answer. Is it clear? Yeah, of course, guys. You may prepare your index cards and you can use during the test. Number 4. Find all the real and complex solutions, if any, of the equation below. So if it asks real and complex solutions, most probably we are going to use the quadratic formula. What was the quadratic formula? This one, right, guys? So here the variable was h was equal to. Here the variable is x, so x is equal to. So x is equal to, okay, so we have again, we have a, 1/2, we have b, and we have c. What do we have? B squared. Sorry, not yet. Minus b, so minus 2. Plus or minus b squared. 2 squared is 4. Minus 4 ac. A is 1/2. C is 5. Over 2a. So 2 times 1/2. What do we have then here? Minus 2 plus or minus. What do we have? Square root of 4 times half is 2. 2 times 5. So 4 minus 10. Over 1. So we have negative 2 plus or minus square root of is negative 6. What does it mean? We don't have a real solution. We don't have any real solution, but we have complex solutions. So what are those solutions? From here, we have two solutions, right, guys? Negative 2 plus root to negative 6. Negative 2 minus square root of negative 6. Well, we are going to use the imaginary root. First of all, let's work on square root of negative 6. What is this? How can I write it? I can write it as 6i squared. I squared is minus 1. And that I squared goes out as I, and there is no perfect square in 6. 6 stays in. Okay? So square root of negative 6 is I square root of 6. From here, all the real and complex solutions. So we have two solutions. X sub 1 is negative 2 plus. So root negative 6, I write as I square root of 6. This is the first solution. And the second solution is, it's not writing, negative 2, negative I square root of 6. Yes, guys, I square root of 6. These are the two solutions, two complex solutions. Is it clear? Copy the board and let me know when you are ready for the next question. Ready, guys? Yeah, I will upload this on Schoology if everything goes perfect, because I wanted to upload, but it's just disappeared in the middle of converting the video into another format after my previous lesson. So I hope it works today. I mean, now. Ready, guys? Okay. Question number 5. What are the two solutions of the quadratic equation? Okay. So it doesn't ask by quadratic formula or by factoring, by graphing. First, I write it in standard form. That is x squared plus 15x, so minus 56. If I add 56 to both sides, I will have equal to 0, and this is the standard form. Guys, can I solve it by factoring? Because it's easier, right? Instead of quadratic formula, let's try to use by factoring 56. Are there any two numbers? Product gives 56 and times sum gives 15. I think I found them. So 7 times 8 is 56. By the way, 7 plus 8. Oh, why it doesn't, right? It says change me. 7 plus 8 is 15. So we have two numbers, x plus 8, x plus 7. Okay. What are two solutions? We have now factors for this quadratic equation. And the product is equal to 0. It means I can write each factor as equal to 0 to find the final solutions. X plus 8 equals 0. From here, I have x is negative 8. X plus 7, the second factor equals 0. Since, guys, the product is 0, every factor I have to write is equal to 0 to find all the solutions, all the possible solutions. X plus 7 is 0. From here, x is negative 7. So we have two solutions, guys, negative 8 and negative 7. Okay, is it clear? Put the word, please. So, guys, now we have an inequality question. Solve the inequality. How we are solving these ones. In inequality, remember, the one important thing, we should have 0 on one side. Since this is quadratic, I collect all the terms on the left-hand side, and I will have 2x squared minus 10x greater than 0. Okay? Well, if this is the quadratic inequality, how do I solve it? I need to find the zeros, right, guys? To find the zeros of this quadratic function, I need to find the factors, and the common factors here, 2x. If 2x is the common factor, 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times what makes 10x? Yes, it's negative 5. 2x times x minus 5 greater than 0. What am I looking for? I'm looking for values of x which make this expression greater than 0, which make this quadratic function greater than 0. Okay? And to find that, I need to find the zeros, okay? So the first step, find the zeros. Find the zeros. And what are they? How do I find the zeros of a function? The product. So I write them, I write each product, each factor equals 0. 2x equals 0, and the second factor is x minus 5 equals 0. From here, x is 0. From here, x equals 5. Cool. But these are the zeros. They are not making this function greater than 0. They are not making it positive. They make it 0. Because of that, they are called zeros. So what is the next step? Remember the number line. We have to show the zeros on the number line, 0 and 5. And we draw a curve through every root. Now we have this one. And you see there are 3 intervals, guys. So these 3 intervals, the function 2x squared minus 10x will take negative or positive values on these 3 intervals. Okay, so what sign it will take on which interval? Basically, we just pick a number. Let's pick a 1. Easy one, right? If it's possible, we take 0. If not, any other numbers. Small numbers because of easy calculation. So if x is 1, so if x is 1, I just do it here. Okay, so if x is 1, I check it out here. 2 times 1 squared minus 10 times 1. It is 2 minus 10. Guys, it's less than 0. It's negative. Look, it's negative. If x is 1, the function is negative. 1 belongs to this interval, 0 to 5, okay? It means, so if we know the value of the function, the character, let's say negativity or positivity of the function for one value, it's same for all other values in that interval, okay? So the function 2x squared minus 10x is always negative between 0 and 5 for all the values of x. And after finding one sign, I can just find the others, because when we see a root, we change the sign. When we see a root, we change the sign. Okay, now we have the sign table. What was the question? Go back to question. Here, this is the question, right? This is our question. We are looking for 2x squared minus 10x greater than 0. So what is greater than 0, guys? Greater than 0 means plus. So we are looking for x values which make it positive. We can see it in the sign table. Function is positive if x less than 0. Function is positive if x is greater than 5. So we have 2 solutions here, x less than 0 or x greater than 5. Where do we see the plus sign? X greater than 0 plus, and then we select the intervals with plus sign, and we write the x values for that interval. These are the answers. Solve the inequality means, again, find the x values which make the given function for this question greater than 0, positive. So if x less than 0, 2x squared minus 10x will be always positive. If x greater than 5, 2x squared minus 10x will be always positive. That's it. Is it clear? How did I find the zeros? So I just write it as equal to 0. 2x squared. So when I find the factors, I write it like this. After writing the factors, so 2x times x minus 5. To find the zeros, I have to write the function as equal to 0. Good question. Any other question? Is it clear? Find all possible value of x which satisfies the equation. All possible value of x. Well, it means solve the equation. Yes, guys. So we can solve by factoring. Can we solve it by factoring? 2, 4, and 7. What am I doing? I multiply -2 times 2, that is -4. Can I find two numbers? Product is -4 and sum is -7. I cannot. It's obvious, right? So I have to use the quadratic formula for x. -b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a equals. Let me write. So this is a, this is b, and here we have c. -b is 7 plus or minus square root of b squared. -7 squared is 49 minus 4 a c. Oh, all right, over 2 times a, negative 2 times -2, it's -4. Okay, let's see what we have here. I continue from here, guys. 7 plus or minus, minus plus. Okay, so we have 49 plus 16 over -4, and it is 7 plus or minus 65 over -4. 65. It is 13 times 5. I cannot simplify that 65. What I can do, I can write the roots. So there are two solutions here, guys. So the first solution, x sub 1, is I write the radical part and the whole part together, like separately. -4 plus root 65 over 4. This is the first solution. And x2 is, x sub 2 is -7 over 4 minus root 65 over 4. So pay attention. When it's minus, minus over minus plus. When this is plus, plus over minus is minus. Okay. So these are two solutions, guys. Is it clear? Do you have any question? We just use the quadratic formula. You may have the quadratic formula in your index card. Are you ready? Number 8, what is the solution of the quadratic system of equations? So we have two quadratic equations. And remember how we were solving these quadratic equation systems. This means we have a system, means these two equations have common points. These two functions actually have common points. And for those common points, their x and y values are equal to each other. So we are going to use this one. So their y values are equal to each other. If y values are equal to each other, these whole functions we write as equal to each other, right? So x squared plus 11x plus 5 equals -x squared plus 5x plus 1. All right. And from here, let's combine all the terms on left-hand side. Okay. You know, I don't like x squared with the negative coefficient. And what does it mean? I just write the opposite of that. So -x squared, I write on both sides plus x squared, here plus 5x. So I write minus 5x plus 1, I write minus 1. So I will have 0 on the right hand side. On the left hand side, I have 2x squared, 11 minus 5 plus 6x, 5 minus 1 plus 4. This is my equation. And the solution of this equation gives the intersection of these two functions. Okay. All right. Hey, I can simplify this, right, guys? It will be easier for me. It's 2x squared plus 6x plus 4. If I simplify by 2, my equation will be x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. So this is my equation to solve. How can I solve this one? Well, I can find the factors. You see, guys, I can write it as x plus 2 times x plus 1 equals 0. Well, this is like finding the zeros of the function, right, guys? And the product of the factors equals 0. From here, x plus 2 is 0, and the first solution is negative 2. And the second factor, x plus 1 equals 0, and the second solution is negative 1. Did we finish? We did not, because the solution of quadratic system of equations, actually we are looking for xy pairs, okay? We have the x values. We have to find the y values. To do that, we just plug these values in one of those equations. It doesn't matter which one. So I continue. If x is negative 2, if x is negative 2, so what is y? Okay, I choose the second one. I have smaller numbers. Negative, so I have minus x squared, guys. X is negative 2 squared. Pay attention, okay? Negative comes from the function, and the x squared, so x is negative 2 squared, plus 5 times negative 2 plus 1. What do I have here? Negative 4, negative 10 plus 1. So y equals negative 13. So the first intersection point, first solution is negative 2, negative 30. Okay? And for the second point, I just continue. My second value is negative 1. If x is negative 1, I have, so this time I use the first one, okay? Since that minus maybe confuse us, so we can change. If we are not sure, we just can change the equation. Y is negative 1 squared plus 11 times negative 1 plus 5, which is 1 minus 11 plus 5, and it is 5, 6 minus 11, that is minus 5. Okay, and the second point, the second solution, second common point, second intersection is negative 1, negative 5. These are the solutions of these systems. Okay. You are right, it can be plugged into any equation. We have two equations. You see, I plugged minus 2 into second, but I plugged minus 1 into first. I realized that this minus may confuse me, so I changed my equation. It doesn't matter. Since these are the common points, yes, guys? So there are two parabolas, right? X squared and x squared, the negative x squared. You see, these are the points, minus 2, minus 1. You see, this is minus 1, this is minus 2. And at that point, and their x values and their y values are equal to each other, so I can plug into any equation. Any other question? Copy the board, please. Number 9, what is the solution of the linear quadratic system of equations? Okay, the same logic. What we did here. They have the common points. Their y values are equal. We are going to do the same thing here. We write y values are equal, right? So x squared plus 4x plus 6 equals x plus 4. Let's collect them on one side, on the left-hand side. So negative x, negative 4. And in that case, I will have just 0 on the right-hand side. And I will have x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0. Hey, we have the same equation here, x squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay. Do we have the same answers? Look, you see, x squared plus 3x plus 2, x squared plus 3x plus 2. Well, we have the same x values, not the same y values, since our functions are different, okay? So from here, I write directly, x is negative 2, x is negative 1, okay? These are the zeros of the function. And now I have to plug them in. Yeah, I will select this one. It's linear, it's easier. If x is negative 2, y is negative 2 plus 4, which is equal to 2. So the first point is negative 2, 2. Okay. And if x is negative 1, y is negative 1 plus 4, which is equal to 3. That is negative 1, 3. These are my solutions. So basically, how it works, we have negative 2, 2, and negative 1, 3. Negative 1, 3. So we have a line. These guys, we have a line. This is x plus 4. Actually, it should be 4, but here 3. Okay. And we have a parabola, x squared plus 4x plus 6. 4086. It means we have this one. So you see here the discriminant is less than 0. It has no itself. It has no x-intercepts. But anyway, this quadratic function and this linear one has common points. They are minus 2, 2 and minus 1, 3. Any question? Understandable? Number 10, simplify square root of negative 225. Okay, what we know about minus in square root, it's about imaginary number, right? And here it says using the imaginary unit I. How can I write negative? Okay, I write it first. Negative 225 can be written as 225 times minus 1. Right, guys? This is the first step. And what do I know? I squared is minus 1. Yep. So I can write as 225 I squared. Yep. And it's equal to, okay, I have I squared. What about 225? 225 is what? Let's find the factors of 225. So 225, the factors. Remember this, guys. So 5. Well, Actually, I can start with 3, since the sum of the digits is 9. If I divide this by 3, I will have 75. If I divide this by 3, I will have 25. Divide by 5, 5, 5, 1. Hey, yes, it is 15 squared. You see, guys, it's 3 squared, 5 squared. It means I can write it as 15 squared, and I have I squared. How do they goes out from the radical? So 15 squared, square root of 15 squared is 15. Square root of I squared is I. This is the simple form of square root of negative 225. Is it clear? Okay, number 11. Ready? Simplify the expression. Hey, it's just subtraction, guys. Okay, so 1 plus 2i. What is important here? Distributive property. When we have minus here, actually, we know it's just like -1, yes? And we multiply this -1 by -2 and by -2i. It's just like distributive property of -1. And -1 times -2, it's +2. -1 times -2i, it's +2i. Again, we are looking for simplify. So we have to combine the real parts, 1 plus 2, which is 3, and the imaginary parts, plus 2i, it's plus 4i. This is the final answer. Any question? Good to go, right? Number 12. Number 12, simplify the expression. So, but here we have multiplication. Well, we know what to do. FOIL method, right, guys? But how I do? So it means 2 terms here, 2 terms here. We have to multiply all these terms by others. So -2, I multiply by -3. That is 6. -2, I multiply by 6i. That is -12i. Okay. And then I multiply -6i by -3. That is plus 18i. And I multiply -6 by 6i. That is minus 36i squared. I squared. Okay. I put this away. So any other different colors? So I multiplied, I have everything, but here, what do I know, guys? So I will combine the like terms. This -12i plus 18i makes 6i, first of all. And here, I know that I square is -1. And -36 times -1, actually, it's plus 36. So the final answer is, I have 6 and plus 36, which is 42, and plus 6i. Is it clear? Okay. Did you copy? Number 13. Yeah. Hey, this is nice. Number 13 and number 14, we are going to use the same thing, same method. How do we simplify the expression when we have a rational expression with complex numbers, what we are doing, guys, we multiply okay, good. We multiply the given fraction by the conjugate of its denominator. Hey, conjugate. What is conjugate, guys? Conjugate. So conjugate is the opposite of the imaginary part we take. So it's 2 plus 3i. The conjugate will be 2 minus 3i. Always, the conjugate of denominator we are taking, okay? And we multiply both of them by that. Why we do that? Why? What is the purpose here? Because we don't want I in denominator. And with this multiplication, we will get rid of I in denominator. Okay? It will be the simple form. Okay? So guys, we have multiplications, just like the previous question. Multiplication of two complex numbers, FOIL method. Minus 1 times 2. It's minus 2. Minus 1 times minus 3, it's plus 3i. 5i times 2 plus 10i. And 5i times negative 3i, which is negative 15i squared. This is numerator. What about denominator? So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times negative 3i, it's negative 6i. 3i times 2 plus 6i. 3i times negative 3i, negative 9i squared. By the way, you remember, guys, so the conjugate important. The second important thing, always when we have a plus b times a minus b, it's equal to what, guys? A squared minus b squared, right? So here you see plus 6i and minus 6i cancel out each other. And we will have 4 and b is 3i, b squared, 3i squared minus 3i squared. Okay, I will come to that part, but before, what we know, I squared is minus 1. All right, so what do I have here? Negative 9 times negative 1, it's plus 9. Negative 15 times negative 1 is plus 15, positive 15. And what else do I have here? You see here, I combine them and I get 13i plus positive 13i. Okay? So let me write, I will simplify in. So negative 2 plus 13i plus 15 over 4 plus 9. Okay, good. You see, now I don't have any I in denominator. Yay, it was my purpose. Equals. What do I have here, guys? 15 minus 2. That's 13 plus 13i. Nice numbers, huh? 9 plus 4. Oh my God. Oh, are you afraid? Okay. 13 plus 13i over 13. The magic of 13. And can I simplify by 13 all the numbers? If I do that, I will have 1 plus I as my simplest answer. Is it clear? Any question? Any question? Okay, please copy. And the next question. Should I start or wait for a little bit? Okay, So if we repeat, what is the idea here, guys? Get rid of I in the denominator, okay? So we multiply the expression in denominator by necessary expression, and usually we are going to use this one. So here the conjugate, these are, guys, conjugate of each other. A plus B and A minus B are conjugate of each other when we are talking about complex numbers. And let's apply this into second question, into the question 14, in question 14. Simplify the expression. Okay, we have -2 plus 6i over -4i. We have to get rid of I in denominator. What is the conjugate of -4i? Would you please type in chat? Very good. It's correct. The conjugate of -4i is 4i, guys. Okay, so we always take the opposite of the imaginary part. Real part, it's real part. We don't touch it. It doesn't make any problem, so we don't touch it. -2, oops. What am I doing? We have to multiply, yes, guys, both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of denominator. Here it is. We have to continue now. Equals, you see, we multiply. So here distributive property 4i, we multiply by -2 and by 6i. That will be -2 times 4i is -8i, and 6i times 4i is plus 24i squared. And in denominator, what do I have? -16i squared. What do I know? I squared is -1. What do I have in denominator in this case? -16 times -1, it is 16. And here, what do I have? -24. So I have what, guys? -8i minus 24 over 16. It's not in standard form, you know. We have this one in standard form, a plus bi. This, guys, so plus this. You see, 3 plus 4i. These are the standard forms, but it's not yet. So let's simplify and write the real part first, okay? So how do I write it? I continue equal -24 over 16, -8i over 16. You see, I wrote real part and imaginary part separately. And if I simplify, then 24 and 16, I can simplify by 8, and I will get -3 over 2. This is the real part. And minus, if I simplify 8 and 16, I will have 1 over 2, so that is I over 2. Okay, this is good. Now I have a plus bi in the format. In the standard format, this is the simplest version of the final answer. Any question? No? Please copy the board. Number 15. If the following expression is a perfect square trinomial, what is the value of C? Cool. What was it? How we make an expression like ax squared plus bx. What we were doing, guys, when we have this kind of questions, when we need to make a perfect square trinomial, we first check b. Okay, so what is b here? Well, a is 1, b is -22. Okay, so b is -22. So what number makes this x squared minus 22x perfect square? So that should be, it's always square of half of b. Make sense? We always add, so what is this number? It's always, it must be, if the purpose is getting perfect square, it must be always square of half of b. Okay? And that will give us for this question. See, so it is here negative 11 squared. It is 121. This is the final answer here. The value of C is 121. Is it clear? It was 5/7, right, guys? Completing the square topic. Are you ready? We always use square of b over 2. Yeah, right. I have to mention that a must be 1 always. Okay, guys? A must be 1. If a is not 1, first we divide by coefficient of x squared by that number. Then we get b for a1. Then we add square of half of that b. Okay, so a must be 1. In that case, we add square of half of b. We solved some questions during our classes with different a's. I even remember who asked this question. Okay, ready for the next question? Great. Number 16. Oh yeah, just 5 questions left, guys. Yes. 16, where is it? Here it is. The function y is negative 0.3x squared plus 8.4x models the height y in feet of your pet frog's jump. Pet frog's jump? Nice. Where x is the horizontal distance. So, what do you see here, guys? This is a quadratic function. X shows the horizontal distance, okay? And y is the height in feet from the start of the jump. How far did the frog jump? Let's understand the question. Guys, if x is equal to 0, so this is the starting point, right? It's a parabola and a is negative. It means it's a downward parabola. So we have this parabola, this graph for this equation. So 0, 0, for x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, there is no constant here. And it asks this point, right, guys? What is, since it, where x is the horizontal distance, it asks this point. Actually, it asks to find the 0 of this function. So find the zeros of what? Negative 0.3x squared plus 8.4x equal to 0. Let's find the zeros of this. Okay. Well, what are the factors here? X times, so x is the common factor. I'm not looking for the common numbers for 0.8 and 8.4, but I write directly this one. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, 8.4 it should be. Oops. We have 8.4. To find the 0 function, we have the factors. From here, x is equal to 0. So here it is. And negative 0.3x plus 8.4 equals 0. I have to solve this linear equation. Negative 0.3x equals negative 8.4, and x equals negative, I have to divide both sides by 0.3. The result will be positive because minus over minus, negative over negative is positive. What if I divide 8.4 by 0.3? 8.4 I divide by 0.3. It is 28. How far did the frog jump? So it's 28. 28 watts in feet. Okay, that is the answer, guys. 28. Pay attention to the units. Is it clear? You can use the calculator in the test. Yes, you can use that one. Yeah, actual tests have similar question types like this. Actually, the same questions with different function. Okay, the same question, everything same, just different function here in the test. Are you ready for the next question? All right. Number 17. The function y is negative 16t squared plus 324 models the height. So I like to visualize the questions, guys, okay? So let's say height y in feet of a stone t after it's dropped from the edge of a vertical cliff. Here is a vertical cliff, okay? So there's a person here and it throws a stone, okay? It's something like that. Ooh, okay. And so this is like x value. This is the x-axis. I'm sorry, this is just like the y-axis. Yep. And here the 0. Why I say like this? Look at here, guys. The function is, you see, I didn't even finish reading the question because I just, these models a situation, I visualize the situation, okay? If t is equal to 0, what is y, guys? If t is equal to 0, y is 0 plus 324. Well, 324 is here, this point, 324. It's just the initial point, yes? And the stone from this height throwing up, then goes down, it meets with the ground. How long will it take the stone to hit the ground? By the way, this is t, right? T, not xy, but ty graph. And what is t? T seconds. T shows the time, guys. Very good. T shows the time. So if I find this value, I will answer the question. So again, the function models the height y in feet of a stone t seconds after it is dropped from the edge of a vertical cliff. From here, dropped, and it comes here. It's quadratic, okay? If t is equal to 0, it's 324 minus b over 2ah. Okay. And how long will it take the stone to hit the ground? I need to find the zeros of the functions. Which function? So again, I need to find the zeros here, guys. Zeros of what? Negative 16t squared plus 324 equals 0. So I have just one t here, t squared it is. I solve it like this. So negative 16 to t squared equals negative 324. So I solve this equation, I find the zeros. And from here, t squared equals negative 325 over negative 16. So negative over negative is positive, right? T squared is, what is it, guys? 324. 324 divided by 16, it is 81. For this is the simplified form. And if I find the value, I just control enter. It is 20.25. So t squared is 20.25. Okay. T squared is 20.25. So what is t? Right? I need to find this t value. So I have to take square root of 20 over 25, and that is 4.5. Normally we have two values, right, guys? So from here comes two values, negative 4.5 and positive. Let me write them out. So t sub 1, negative 4.5. T sub 2 is 4.5. But time cannot be negative. Because of that, the answer is 4.5. What? Round to the nearest hundredth of a second. It's okay. It's already 4.5. It's 4.5 seconds. Yeah. We should write the unit 2. Is it clear? So that is here, this point, 4.5. Is it clear? Next question. Are you ready for the next question? Number 18. Wow, it's a long question. Let's read it. During a manufacturing process, a metal part in a machine is exposed to varying temperature conditions. Varying temperature conditions. Okay. The manufacturer of the machine recommends that the temperature of the machine part remain below 140. It looks like quadratic inequality question. Below 140 Fahrenheit degree. The temperature T in degrees Fahrenheit X minutes after the machine is put into operation is modeled by. Nice. The function is given. So what manufacturer asks? So this should be negative 0.1 x squared, where x is time, minutes, plus 7x plus 15 below 140. Below 140. It asks this one, but not the question, the manufacturer. Pay attention. Question is interesting. Will the temperature of the part ever reach or exceed 140 Fahrenheit degree? So ever reach or exceed 140 Fahrenheit degree. Use a discriminant of a quadratic equation to decide. What? Discriminant? Wait a minute. We were solving quadratic inequality. Now, why we are talking about discriminant? Let's pay attention. Will the temperature of the part ever reach? So it's actually asked, will it be this one, negative 0.1 x squared plus 7x plus 15 will be equal to 140, it asks, right, guys? Or bigger than 140. Okay. So let's write the quadratic equation. Let's combine all the terms on one side. I will have negative 0.1 x squared plus 7x plus 15 minus 140 equals 0. Basically, I'm looking for if this equation has a solution. If this equation has a solution, it means the temperature reach 140. Okay, so I'm not looking to this part yet. Okay, guys, I'm looking to this part first. Ever reach means it must be equal to 140, right? Is there any x value which make this function equals 140? So I solve this equation, and by discriminant, I will understand if these real x values exist or not. Okay, so one more step. Negative 0.1 x squared plus 7x. So 15 minus 140 is, what is it, guys? 125, right? 125, negative 125. A is negative 0.1, B is 7, C is negative 125. Discriminant, what was the discriminant? Remember? It was B squared minus 4AC, guys. So let's check it out. B is 7. 7 squared minus 4 times negative 0.1 times C is negative 125. Okay, so you know there are three possibilities, three options for B squared minus 4AC. It may be greater than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0. Up to this, I will understand. And this operation, this, if I do, I have 49 minus, minus, minus. There are three minuses here, guys. So I have minus. Let's do it. 4 times 0.1 times 125 equals 50. Oh my God. I have 49 minus 50. What does it mean? The temperature, so it's less than 0. Okay? It's less than 0. It means the temperature will never reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, how do I understand? Because discriminant less than 0, and this equation has no solution. We have no x value make it equal to, if we go back to here, we have no x value make it equal to 140. But also I can say, since it is minus 1, it's very closer to 0, right, guys? So since it is minus 1, I can say, yeah, temperature will never reach 140, but it will be very close to 140 Fahrenheit. But question doesn't ask what degree or something. So for me, important thing to understand, to realize that it will never reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Is it clear? Any question? All right. Question number 19. No, after this 19 is very easy for us. Yeah, right, guys? Number 19, solve the quadratic equation. All right. So I write it in standard form first. So negative 3x squared plus 7x. It equals minus 5. So I will write it as plus 5 equals to 0. You know, I add 5 to both sides and I get this. Can I use factors? Let's try. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Do I have two numbers? M times n is negative 15, m plus n is 7. 3 times 5, 7. No, guys. 4, 3, 2, 5. So I have to use quadratic formula. Our lovely quadratic formula. X equals, so negative b. I just apply in the formula, okay? So negative 7 plus or minus, I write here the discriminant. Here it is, you see it, b squared minus 4ac. And so here, guys, this is a, b is 7, and c is 5. So negative b, negative 7, b squared is 49 minus 4a, I'm sorry, a is negative 3, right? So a is negative 3 and c is 5 over 2a, 2 times negative 3. Okay. And what do we have here? We have negative 7 plus or minus 4 times 3 times 5. First of all, this minus times minus, it's positive, right, guys? So I will add 49 and 60. 4 times 3 times 5. 60 plus 49, it's 109, and I have negative 6 here. 109, it has perfect numbers, perfect squares in it. Negative 109. It's the prime number. It looks like, let me check it out. What is square root of 109? 10.44 something. So guys, 10, no, that's it. So we cannot simplify, but we should write it like the final answer. I write it like, so the two solutions right here solve the quadratic equation. X sub 1 is negative 7 over negative 6. So that is 7 over 6. Okay, so minus over minus plus root 109 over 6. This is the first solution. And x sub 2 is negative 7 over negative 6. It is 7 over 6. Now plus over minus, that is minus root 109 over 6. We have two solutions here. Clear? Any question? Cool. So guys, we are doing great. Now the last question is, rewrite the equation in vertex form and name the vertex. Oh, the vertex. What was the vertex form? Do you remember? It was a times x minus h squared plus k. This is the vertex form. So what do I have here? X squared minus 12x plus 34. What do I have here? A is 1, B is negative 12, and C is 34. Why I wrote them? Because I need them to find the vertex HK. Yes, guys? That HK are the x and y axis of the vertex. And how do I find h? It's minus b over 2a. You remember? So I need to use this to find the x-axis of the vertex, which is, so b is in negative, so negative, b is in negative 12, negative and minus 12 over 2a. 2 times a, it is 2. So it is negative 12 over 2, it is 6. If h is 6, how do I find k? Remember, I actually just plug this value in the given function. So that is 6 squared minus 12 times 6 and plus 34. Well, it is 36 minus 72 plus 34. We have big numbers, but the result is good. It's 68 minus 72. 68 minus 72, it's minus 4. Okay, so h, we have h, we have k. So the vertex point is hk, 6, negative 4. Let's write the R equation in vertex form. So y is equal to, and y is equal to, hey, we have a. What is a here? Attention, we use the same a, guys, okay? We use the same a because we are talking about the same function, so I use the same a here. So a is 1, so I don't write anything. X minus h is 6 squared, and then k, which is negative 4. This is the final answer. Name the vertex. So vertex is this one. Yes, guys, and this is the vertex one. Is it clear? Any question? Okay. Any question? Thank you, guys. So I wish you success in the test. I hope it was helpful.